Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Drew here from Lone Fox, and today's video, we are focusing on bedroom spaces. And I'm here to admit that I'm someone that spends, honestly, a majority of my time in my bedroom. I've dedicated multiple spaces in my home to different things, you know, workspaces, dining spaces. But honestly, sometimes I find myself ending up back in my bedroom, which is totally fine. I love being in my room. This is where I have my little office nook. I can just do a lot in there. And I figured a lot of you guys as well probably spend a lot of your time in your bedroom as well. So today I wanted to compile a bunch of my favorite DIY hacks, updates, tips, and tricks that you can do in your bedroom that instantly elevate it, make it feel so much better, but are also easy, affordable, attainable, something that genuinely makes sense. Just like the title of this video, I want these to be things that actually make sense. I'm not just throwing fluff into this video. We are giving you guys genuine quality tips. So why don't we go ahead and dive on into our first one that you're actually gonna see behind me, and that is sconces. Layered lighting in a bedroom truly is so impactful, and I will say that in my own bedroom upstairs, if you guys recall back when I did the bedroom makeover, I hung these two pendant lights, and I did have to have an electrician come out and install the two lights above my nightstands. They're actually hung from the ceiling and then they drop down. I turn these on every single day. When it gets dark outside, these lights turn on, my main overhead light turns off. I rarely use my main overhead light, to be honest with you guys, because I really do love the mood lighting and the ambiance of the sconces. They're super dim, but it creates a really nice inviting warmth, and it's perfect for the nighttime. In the same case in this bedroom here that I did, which is a guest bedroom, and also in Marie's bedroom, I added some sconces, but even just lamps in general, having a dual purpose or layered lighting, a lamp on a dresser, some sconces above a nightstand, which is also really nice because it frees up space on a nightstand, which is what I wanted to do in this space in particular, because we have a king bed in here and my nightstands are really narrow. If you could see this nightstand, typically these florals are not here because the nightstand's on the smaller side. So I had these hardwired, which definitely is a commitment. It's a little bit costly, but something you can totally do is get corded sconces or get hardwired sconces just like these and add a cord. I actually just did that in a recent living room makeover I shared. I added a twisted cord to a sconce that's traditionally a hardwired sconce, and it made it a plug-in sconce, which is super easy. And I think if you get the twisted cords that are fabric covered, it's actually kind of like a cute element, and you can be intentional with the cord. You can add a pop of color, you can make it look metallic, and I feel like a cord really is not too much of an eyesore now. There's great ways to get around that. So definitely considered layered lighting in a bedroom. It's at the forefront of every bedroom design I now do, and I feel like it's something you can definitely think about and do in a cost-effective or very DIY manner. Something I did in this bedroom makeover, which you can kind of see right here, and I also did in the bedroom exactly above this, is a custom headboard. And it is crazy how easy it is to DIY your very own custom headboard. This one in particular here is like a fully upholstered custom headboard. I did a pattern on it. It has like a little rope trim on the edge as well. It really feels fully custom. It's done. How long did this take? Well, it took like 3-4 hours.
We started after lunch.
At like 2. 1:30.
Yeah.
It's like 5:30, almost 6. Maybe like 4 hours.
Almost 4 hours.
Yeah.
And honestly, I didn't do that much.
Yeah, I was kind of like the main one just to film, you know? Okay. Oh, she is heavy. Like, it looks extremely expensive and it was very budget friendly. And then the one upstairs is a full wall-to-wall headboard, which I actually love the look of, and I think it's another budget friendly way to really elevate a bedroom and almost give it like a hotel feel. It really grounds the bed space, and you can layer nightstands in front of it if you'd like. I simply just used some plywood to create the ones upstairs, and I extended it from one wall all the way over to the right wall, and then I added a little trim piece on top. I upholstered it in a nice textural fabric, and it really feels like a nice backdrop for our bed area. And something else you can totally do as well is you could do like smaller panels. You can get smaller pieces of wood, like if you live in an apartment and you kind of want to make this a little bit more DIY friendly, you can upholster smaller panels and just kind of connect them up together along the entire back of your wall. Also consider kind of merging the two that I just mentioned, which is installing a corded sconce into a custom headboard, so that way you can have it plugged in behind the headboard when you go to install, and it looks completely flush and custom. So just something to think about. You can really consider a lot when DIYing a headboard, and I feel like there's different ways that you can do it that can make a great focal point in a room, because I do think a bed is traditionally the focal point of a bedroom, so why not make your very own custom, stunning DIY version for a lot less than you can buy it in stores. Today's video is kindly sponsored by Helix, which is a mattress I have on this bed, and every single bed in every room I've ever made over in my entire life, a Helix mattress is what I always opt for. The way I wish that you guys can all just come and experience experience how comfortable a Helix mattress truly is. It is a top quality mattress and it's delivered directly to your doorstep in a box. And the price point too, it's a great price point. Considering that you spend a third of your life on your mattress, I think a lot of us kind of forget that sometimes. A mattress is definitely an investment, but it's also an investment in your health, in your body, in your well-being. And I know shopping for a mattress is a big step and kind of an odd thing to do online. However, Helix makes it super easy because they have a sleep quiz and you can actually answer a bunch of different questions that it asks you, and it pairs you up with a perfect mattress for your body type. And I've taken this quiz over and over again over like the 5 years I've been working with Helix, and it's always matched me up with the same exact one, which is a Helix Midnight, the one that I have myself. And with your new mattress, you're actually gonna get a 100-day sleep trial, meaning if it's not for you, that is okay. They're gonna have them pick that mattress right up. You don't have to put it back in the box. I honestly think you are going to love your mattress so much. These are literal comments from the Lone Fox family themselves, so it's not just me, all of my family, and a majority of my friends that have Helix mattresses that love them. These are literal comments from the Lone Fox family who have taken recommendation from a video just like this and got a Helix mattress and have found out that they truly do love them as well, which makes me so happy to hear. And let's just say that you're not in the market for a new mattress, but you want to increase the comfort level of your current mattress. Helix now offers mattress toppers, which are super cool because you don't have to invest in that whole new mattress. You can just pop this right over the top of a current mattress to increase the comfort level. And I also have to say, Helix offers free shipping within the US, a 10-year warranty, and flexible payment plans and financing options. So tap that link in the top of the description box below to take advantage of the incredible partner offer they are giving the Lone Fox family, which is 27% off site-wide for President's Day. So take advantage before the sale ends because you're not gonna wanna miss it. Considering your fifth wall when designing a bedroom is definitely important, and it's something that I kind of used as a statement and a standout in my own bedroom design. Now it's something in this room where I kind of blended it all in. The walls and the ceiling match, but in my own bedroom, I almost wanted the look of like a golden hour at all times. I did this really great kind of like ochre, really warm tone on the ceiling, and it instantly adds impact to the room, and it also doesn't feel like an accent wall, because I feel like a lot of the times adding an accent wall to rooms nowadays, just it doesn't feel intentional, it doesn't feel very design forward. However, adding an accent ceiling a lot of times does feel a little bit more intentional and design forward, because if your walls and what your kind of visual line is all a little bit more the same, but the ceiling and the floors are different, it's not gonna feel too ajar from what you're like traditionally used to. But you can have so much fun with a ceiling in a bedroom space, and it's even something as small as adding like a ceiling medallion to your light fixture. It's something where you can add visual focal point to the ceiling and draw the eye up. In Marie's bedroom, I did a copper toned plaster on all of the walls, and I just felt like doing this color on the ceiling as well was gonna be really intense. And so I actually did a color called Coffee and Cream on the ceiling, a really soft milky cream color, which actually makes the walls stand out and almost makes the ceiling feel mist in the room, which I love because it makes you really look at the texture on the walls and all of the work that was put into the plaster. So considering the fifth wall in your bedroom is somewhere you can really have fun. You can do wallpaper, you can do wood, you can do plaster, you can do paint. There's a lot of options that you can have. So consider all of them when you are going to design a space, or if you want to update your room. Talking about drawing the eye up, curtains, they really make an impact and they can make or break a space. And they're also something to consider for a bedroom because they can also make or break your sleep. I don't know why I am so new to the game, but I recently have come across double rod that you can install in a room, like just double rods. I feel like everyone knows about these, but I've only recently started installing them in my projects. Just in the past, I've only ever done just a single rod, single panels, but truly the inclusion of a double rod in a space makes such high impact. You can have a sheer panel in the backside, and then you can have a more textural, heavy blackout version, or just like a pattern fabric, a velvet like I have in this room on the front side. And it's something that can always hang on the left and right, where you can always have the shears drawn, which is great for privacy. But then at nighttime, you can draw the actual heavier curtains and have them more as a blackout moment. But just the universal nature of having a double rod in a room truly has transformed how I view curtains. And it's the same amount of install as a single rod, so it's not anything harder. It's gonna be a little bit more costly because you have to pay for the double rod and the additional panels. However, it really adds high impact. And that's really what we're talking about in this video. Things you can do that add extremely high impact, elevate a space, make it look a lot more expensive and design forward, but they don't have to cost too much because sheer panels you can find online for so inexpensive. You can even make them. And if your room does have a lot of windows in it, there are different ways to also think about curtains. You can even do Roman shades. Sometimes there's gonna be too much fabric. You don't want that many hanging panels. And really consider hanging double rods in your bedroom or your next bedroom project or your guest bedroom, whatever you're working on, because it really creates high impact. I promise you, you are not gonna go back to a single curtain after installing a double curtain. Next thing I'm talking about is clutter in surfaces and drawers. Kind of odd, I know, but it's really something to consider because in a bedroom space, any surface you have is going to probably become a collecting zone for clothes, for items, for I don't know what you have in your bedroom, but for anything that could be collected, it's probably going to become a collecting zone if you're like me. And so that's why I like to try to eliminate and really, again, consider. I feel like I'm saying that so many times, but think about the different surfaces you have in a room and where you can have drawers and storage. So I always opt for a nightstand with a drawer in it. I don't like nightstands that don't have a drawer. It's gonna become a mess. It's going to become a pile up on top of that nightstand, and it's really not too practical. I feel like nightstands without drawers are really end tables. They're not really nightstands. You need a drawer and a nightstand. Unless you're like extremely minimal and you don't like absolutely anything and have absolutely nothing, then you know what? Go for that super minimal vibe. But a lot of the times a drawer is practical. Most times in bedrooms as well, the light fixture is in the middle of the room. So your light fixture is also going to be most likely a centerpiece or somewhat of a focal point depending how far it hangs down in a space, how much visual space it really does take up in the room. So being really mindful of the direction and the type of light that it's going to bounce and really give off in the room is something that can really make or break a room. And I actually did a bedroom makeover in my own room that I installed a light in back in my previous apartment. And I will say it was this one like really cone-shaped light in my bedroom where it pushed all the light directly down. And the top half of my room, like literally at nighttime, the top like above 2 feet of the wall, because the light was pushed so far down like this, everything above like this was black. And like the bottom half of my room was like just dimly lit because the light wasn't, it's more of a dining room light. It's more for over the top of a dining table. The light needs to either bounce up and kind of like fill the room that way, or, you know, be in like some sort of paper lantern vibe, something that can soften or diffuse the light a little bit so it's not super direct. And kind of going back again to how it's the center point and how far lights drop in a bedroom space. If you guys recall my bedroom when I first moved in, it had a chandelier that dropped to the middle of the room. It was so heavy feeling as well, but I ended up removing this from the space and adding a new light that really kind of ties back to also the line work that I did on the ceiling. And I just feel like it elevates the room so much more, and it also is a beautiful form of light. The other one, the chandelier, it was quite bright. I felt like it was more for a living room space. A light really sets the tone and the mood for a room, so it's something to think about. And the last thing I want to talk about is the color palette of a bedroom, because I do feel like a bedroom space typically is one that you want to feel a little bit more serene. It's one that at the end of the day you might want to come back to and have more of a calming presence in the room, which I always try to create in my bedroom spaces. Even the ones that feel bold, I really like to pick colors that still have this subdued quality to them that kind of still emulate this warmth and softness in the space. And so that's something I did in this room. When I made over this room, the door wasn't put up, which is why it is white still. We have to still paint that this gorgeous color here. This is Eddie by Farrow and Ball, and it's just like a really soft, minty sort of pistachio color. And I color drenched the entire room, and it creates such a calming vibe in here. And I did a tonal curtain, which I love. It's in a velvet, and so it adds a nice little shift in the sheen and the materiality in the space. But this by all means does not mean that you can't do a bright and bold bedroom, because if that is the vibe you want to go for, then totally feel free. But anyone that might feel stuck on a color palette for a bedroom, some that I've really been loving are ones like this pistachio sort of minty color. I also absolutely love Farrow and Ball's like Dead Salmon or Setting Plaster. That sort of pinky shade in a bedroom I think is so soft and beautiful, and it doesn't even have to be too feminine either. You can dress it up and really edge it up with dark woods and irons. And I also think a cream is great in a bedroom. Like Joa's White is my go-to from Farrow and Ball for like a creamy, warm color palette, and it's one that I have done in so many spaces. And if you've never been on Farrow and Ball's website, when you look at some of these colors, they have pairings towards the bottom, which I love because I can go on and on about different pairings I like, but I feel like the people at Farrow and Ball have already kind of done that for us. So this is really not sponsored. I just adore their color selection, and you look at the different colors, they pair them up with some of their other options to show you how you can use other shades and tones and other colors in a space, create a palette that you love and enjoy waking up to every single day. So my friends, that that was today's video. I just wanted to touch on a bunch of my favorite tips and tricks when it comes to designing a bedroom. Now, I know there's probably so many more I can go on about in this video, but I wanted to kind of focus on some of the core ones and really bring them into this video because I've done so many videos sharing 10 tips for living rooms and 10 tips to elevate your home and 10 tips here and there, but I really wanted to share a video focusing on some great ways you can elevate and enhance a bedroom space. So if you happen to have any ideas or if any of these really stuck out to you, please leave them in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you guys. Preparing for a bedroom makeover, you're in the market for a new mattress, definitely check out Helix. I'm going to link them in the description box below for you guys. Take advantage of the offer that they have for you. The Lone Fox family always gets the best Helix offers, just gotta say. So take advantage, and I will catch you guys all in my next one. Bye.